Dan guitar, haha, dan guitar, dan guitar, aha, dan guitar. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my video. Today is Tuesday, the 17th of August 2021. My name is Dan Guitar from Thailand. In this video, I like to talk about the true Dhamma or Nirvana for the people who have the wisdom. If you are a little person who want to attain Nirvana's flight, you have to listen to me only. Because I'm Arahant in Thailand, I'm ready to help everyone to solve that problem, to attain Nirvana's flight. I'm ready. But are you ready? The topic to speak in this video, let's take a look. The matter in your thoughts, it doesn't mean repetitive thoughts, ruminating, but it's natural thoughts. Wow! Why do you say that? You know, every story I convey in the video, I want you to understand about the first idea or thought process. I say, I want you to understand about the thought process because the thought process is the heart of quenching of all suffering. The thought process, it doesn't belong to anyone on this earth. The thought process is natural. The thought process is universal truth. You know, what you see now, it doesn't mean a man who is standing. It doesn't mean a man who is walking. You know, we are not human beings. We are just something which happened to the mindful awareness. I say this, that is so real. You know, if you want to to solve that problem, if you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, the following story I will say. You must be brought mind to listen and without prejudice to me. When you listen to me, you must try to understand every story I convey because I will help you to the fall of suffering. I will help you to deal with. I will help you to deal with OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, ruminating, repetitive thoughts. I say, I will help you. I'm ready. I will help you to deal with. I will help you to deal with OCD, ruminating, repetitive thoughts. The topic to speak in this video, I say, the matter in your thoughts, it doesn't mean repetitive thoughts, ruminating, but it's natural thought. You know, I say, you know, the thought process create various matters naturally, and various matters will fade away by themselves without dealing with anything. Again, the thought process create various matters naturally, and various matters will fade away by themselves without dealing with anything. And don't be afraid of thought process. Don't be afraid of thought process because the thought process, it doesn't really exist. The thought process, it doesn't really exist. It's just a thought. The thought process, it doesn't belong to anyone on this earth. The thought process, it doesn't belong to anyone on this earth. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand every story I convey in the video and consider along as I said over and over again until it's gone deep into your head. Then you understand it. And finally, you will have opportunity you will have opportunity to deal with OCD, to deal with ruminating, to deal with repetitive thought. You will have opportunity to deal with OCD, to deal with ruminating, to deal with repetitive thought, because OCD or ruminating or repetitive is just a thought. It doesn't belong to anyone on this earth. Where can I find the meaning of OCD? OCD. Where can I find the meaning of OCD? Where can I find the meaning of ruminating, repetitive thought? It's just a thought. As I told you, the thought process said, create what as matter naturally, and what as matter will fade away by themselves without dealing with anything. Don't be afraid of thought process. Wow, it's clear. Ha ha! It's clear. The thought process said, create what as matter naturally, and what as matters will fade away by themselves without dealing with anything. Don't be afraid of thought process. OCD, ruminating, repetitive thought, depression and anxiety, suffering. It's just a belief. It's just a thought process. I show you. The thought process creates fresh matter naturally. Every matter in your thought, it doesn't mean anything. It's not mean anything, but you can understand the matter in your thought. The matter in your thought, it doesn't belong to anyone on this earth. The matter in your thought, it doesn't mean the matter in your thought. The matter in your thought, it doesn't mean the matter in your thought. The matter in your thought is happen to learn. It doesn't mean to mind it, but you can understand. If you want to deal with depression and anxiety, if you want to deal with ruminating, if you want to deal with repetitive thoughts, the best way, I say the best way, it doesn't mean the best method. It doesn't mean the best method, the best way. The best way is realization of the thought. Realization of the thought is natural. Realization of the thought is nature is aware of nature. I say this, that is sound weird, because you have never heard someone say like me before. And this is all. I want you to understand about the thought process. The thought process, it doesn't belong to anyone on this earth. The thought process creates whereas matter, but whereas matter, it doesn't really exist. Whereas matter in your thought, it doesn't mean anxiety, it doesn't mean depression, it doesn't mean suffering, it doesn't mean happiness, it doesn't mean anything. I said somewhere here. If you want to solve right problem, if you want to deal with depression and anxiety, if you want to deal with anger, if you want to deal with OCD, to deal with ruminating, to deal with repetitive thoughts, you must try to understand every story I convey in the video. It's very simple. It's very simple to deal with whereas. Which whereas thought? Which happened in your thought? I say the thought process that creates whereas matter naturally. The thought process creates whereas matter naturally. And whereas matters will fade away by themselves without dealing with anything. Don't be afraid of thought process. Aha! Clear. It's clear. If you want to solve right problem, if you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, if you want to deal with OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, if you want to deal with OCD, if you want to deal with ruminating, if you want to deal with repetitive thought, until you can realize your thought. This is the best way. The best way is nature, is aware of nature. It doesn't mean the best method. No method to deal with anything. No method to deal with the thought because the thought process changes all the time. But you can realize your thought. For example, as soon as you see this was we saw that, there will be something which happen in your thought. You feel in the way you feel. It doesn't have the fictional language to say what you feel. You feel in the way you feel. This is the matter in your thought. The matter in your thought will fade away by itself without dealing with anything. You can't understand the meaning of this word, fuck you. There will be something which happened in your thought. Something which happened in your thought. It doesn't mean angry. It doesn't mean anger. Can you understand me? Every matter which happened in your thought, it doesn't have the fictional language to say because the meaning of the language, it doesn't really exist. The language we use in every life, whether spoken language or written language, it's just a fictional language. It doesn't really exist. I say, as soon as you see this word, which wrote that, fuck you, there will be something which happened in your thought. It doesn't mean angry, but you feel in the way you feel, and you don't like the meaning of fuck you. You don't like the meaning of fuck you. You want to deal with the meaning of fuck you. Where can I find the meaning of fuck you? The meaning of fuck you, it doesn't really exist. It's just a thought. It's just the belief. It's just the belief of the fools. The meaning of fuck you, it's just the belief. It's just the belief of the fool. Where can I find the meaning of? It doesn't really exist. It's just a thought. It will fade away by itself, but you cannot realize your thought. While you are reading this word, which wrote that, fuck you, there will be something which happened in your thought, and after that, it will fade away by itself, without dealing with anything. Can you understand me? Topic to speak in this video. I say, the matter in your thoughts. It doesn't mean repetitive. It doesn't mean repetitive thoughts. It doesn't mean ruminating, but it's natural. Every matter in your thought, it doesn't have the fictional language to say. It's very simple to understand. I try to help you to understand about the thought process. The thought process, it doesn't belong to anyone on this earth. The meaning, the meaning of OCD, the meaning of ruminating, the meaning of repetitive thought, the meaning of depression and anxiety, it doesn't really exist. Can you understand me? Okay. If you want to deal with OCD, to deal with ruminating, to deal with repetitive thoughts, if you want to deal with depression and anxiety, the best way, until you can realize your thought. For example, as soon as you see this word, which wrote that, there will be something which happened in your thought. Can you realize? If you can realize, that means you have mindfulness and wisdom to deal with depression and anxiety, to deal with ruminating, to deal with repetitive thoughts, to deal with OCD. Can you understand me? I said, I hear ง่ายๆ Can you realize your thought? And let's take a look. And as soon as you see this word, which wrote that, a cat, there will be an image in your thought. It's very simple. Don't look down. Don't look down on. Don't look down on. Example. A cat can help you to avoid suffering. A cat can help you to avoid suffering. The topic to speak in this video, I say, the matter in your thoughts, it doesn't mean repetitive thoughts, it doesn't mean ruminating, but it's natural thought. Every matter in your thought, it doesn't have the fictional language to say because it's natural. Can you understand me? Every matter in your thought, every matter which happened in your thought from birth to death is natural. It doesn't belong to anyone on this earth. It has no language to say, but you cannot understand about the thought process. Every matter in your thought, as I told you, the thought process create various matter. The thought process create various matter naturally, and various matter will fade away by themselves without dealing with anything. Don't be afraid of thought process. The meaning of OCD, ruminating, repetitive thoughts, it doesn't really exist. The thought process create various matter naturally, and various matter will fade away by themselves without dealing with anything. Don't be afraid of thought. Every matter in your thought from birth to death, it doesn't have the fictional language to say because it's natural. Can you understand me? If you want to solve life problem, if you want to end all suffering, if you want to deal with depression and anxiety, to deal with ruminating, to deal with repetitive thoughts, until you can realize your thought, nothing more to study than this. Please bear in mind.